the whole time. So we've got real egg on our face, and we want to make sure we get Connor back, because well, you have got some unanswered questions. I was asking the questions and you couldn't hear the answer. So here we are, away with our Kawasaki senior race, and Nick Burke, what a standout ride he has been today. Man, oh man, the first race he slipped back a little bit, and then he was in second. Zurin had the advantage, or Wiki we were referring to, and then Nick got in front, and he was then went all the way. But then the next race, he led from start to finish, as he's leading this one at the moment. So Nick Burke, standout performance here for the Bayride man on the R6 Yamaha. Well, we saw how well the Yamaha's performed with the likes of Rogan Chandler through our NZSBK 600 Supersport program, and now here we're seeing an advantage with Nick out in front. So Nick Burke, Zurin Wiki and Matt Drayson are our trio of hotshots to entertain us for Kawasaki senior racing in this final round. So gently, it's just a big, beautiful arc and a sweep round. Oh yes, we have talked loud enough and long enough. And he's coming back up here. So he'll have the other microphone. And first of all, Connor, you just had your jacket on there. What's the temperature like downstairs?
It's not too bad. It's quite warm. It's hotter up here.
Yeah, that's the trouble in this. It's a glass house, isn't it?
Yeah, so no, it's good. The weather's pretty mint out there. The track's warmed up real nice, so it's perfect conditions for them.
Good. All right, Hamish Fox, congratulations, because whatever you said, whatever you did, it's made a huge difference. That race, you wouldn't even thought he was the same rider as race number one. What an improvement. I reckon that was even above your expectations, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, Hamish definitely stepped it up there, and he did a 17.0, which is not far at all off what Jacob and that are doing. So
yeah,
to be up there and doing those lap times is pretty awesome. So I think we're going to see a bit more out of Hamish in the next one. So.
Yeah, indeed. All right, the learnings continue for this young man, putting his name up amongst the trio of Blake Ross, Jacob Stroud and Jesse Stroud. Anybody that mixes with that company has got to be a good rider. So what's his background?
Hamish, his first season last year, he did the Carl Cox Ninja Cup last year. So that was his first ever time riding road bike. So yeah, and he got second just behind Jacob, and he had a few good rounds. And yeah, he's been riding motocross for well, I don't know how long, quite a long time. He's been doing the Enduro Nationals and all the off-road stuff. So he's quite a good off-roader, and yeah, convinced him to come try this out.
All right, and speaking about off-road, we should be fair to say that Connor London's had a bit of a play there as well. You find it part of your repertoire? You enjoy it?
Yeah, I've been doing a bit of off-roading and did a little bit of motocross, but try to stay away from the jumps because I've got a habit of hurting myself. So okay. Yeah, I've been doing a bit of flat tracking here on the new track that Bruce McLaren's put out. So. Yeah, and it's obviously another awesome facility by the track here, just to have that available for us to go training on. It makes a massive difference, and you know, it's pretty cheap too. So yeah, it's always nice not having to spend a whole lot of money to go have fun.
What's your weapon out there?
I've got a KXF 250, and then I've just put a flat track tyre on the rear, but need to do a bit more changes to it and get the proper front tyre and lower it up and get it a bit stiffer.
Good. So for people that are not familiar with it, because they're not seeing it on the screen or here today, because we're talking about the Tarsil, tell people out there a little bit about flat track.
Yeah, well, Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park set up just an oval flat track that's mostly pumice and lime. I think a bit of cement dust packed down. It's quite hard packed, but it's all quite loose. So you put a flat track or a speedway tyre on the rear, and you just go out and do some slides, and it's real good practice for throttle control. And and I think they're still testing it, and it's going to be open in the next few months, I imagine.
So as a 250, is that not a little bit on the light side?
No, I mean 250, it's arguable which one's better. I mean, I think the 450 would be better because you just got that bit more power and it's a bit easier to control out of the corners. But the 250 is by no means slow, and I think I've even taken a DRZ 125 around there. So
is this one the perfect oval as well?
Yeah, it's awesome because it's got the big straights as well. You've got a brake, so it adds a bit more. Because I rode at Rosebank Road a couple of weeks ago, and
had some Australians over to do the Burt Munro Challenge this year, and their flat track over there are effectively more the letter D with a back straight, and then the other corner is just a bigger sweeper.
Yeah.
So they're doing it that way, and they're now even starting to put a little kink on the inside of the D as well, so it's actually throwing a bit of a left-right as you go around as well.
Yeah, it's quite cool. It's good training. A lot of guys do it.
Well, hey, where does Kevin Swants come from? Wayne Rainey, what's their background?
Yeah, they all do dirt tracking.
Yeah, exactly. Wayne Gardner, Australia, Queenslander. flat track from his early beginnings as well. So bring it on. Well done. Another great facility here at Bruce McLaren. All right, well, the reason we're talking about a whole lot of other things is because Nick Burke, man, he's just bolted in here. What a class he's in here today.
Yeah, he's performing pretty well. It's his first race meeting. He's been doing a few track days, I've heard, but you know, he's real consistent as well, which is nice to see. It's always, you always sometimes see people do some fast laps and then drop off again, and he's consistently inside those 12s in this race, so it's quite good. And then there's Zoran Wicki still in second place as he's been all day. He's doing quite well. He's got some consistent times in there, about 1.5 to 2 seconds off Nick, so he's doing really well. And then there's Dave Manuel behind him this time, so he's doing well.
Well, Dave's been around a day or two, all round nice guy, little pocket rocket, of course, and man, he had some great riding in his heyday. More importantly, I love the fact that here he is still around in the circuit, just turning up for a senior day like today. No glory, no big checkbook or anything like that, but more importantly, just keeping those laps circulating under the great support of Ray Klee on a Suzuki GSX-R 600, so that won't be any slow bike out there.
No, for sure. Wouldn't be. It'll be quite a good bike, I imagine. It's K2, so it's a bit old.
Well, still a goodie. We knew that from the era, that's for sure. All right, some of the other names to look out for: Robbie Oxenham. Robbie, a great campaigner. His is a K6, so it's a little bit more modern. But Robbie's been around a moon or two as well.
Yeah, he's been around. Yeah, it's quite a good class today. There's not as many people as there maybe should be, but I think as we sort of go along, people are going to click on and there'll be more bikes out here next time.
In fact, I think people really weren't looking at the long-range forecast because, in fact, for the entire month we've just had this continuation of the warmer weather. Still the end of autumn, no doubt about it, but to be racing here at Taupo with this kind of track temperature today will be great. I remember a Vic Club round at Manfield probably about 4 years ago, and Sloane Frost was there for the first round, and he broke the F1 lap record on a day in May. The track temperature was, I think, 21 degrees, I think it was, or 21 or 20, something over 20 degrees as well. So it was, as he said, absolutely perfect, because it was neither too hot nor too cold. Yeah. The sort of day you want in the middle of summer, as far as weather was concerned, but not of the 30 and 40 and nearly 50 degrees we can have as a track temperature, and sometimes in summer.
No, that's the perfect temperature, because sometimes here it's quite, in summertime Taupo track gets quite warm, really hot, and the pumice underneath it retains all the heat, so you'll get to 6 o'clock in the afternoon and the track's still 35 degrees, and you're still, especially on the superbike, when the track gets over 35-40 degrees, which it did quite a few times this year, your tyres just turn to absolute chewing gum, and you just...
All right, one of the questions I'd asked before, but unfortunately with our microphone problem, nobody got your great answer, Connor. We were congratulating you on that ride at Hampton Downs this year. You ended up on the podium. Dennis has rightfully said he thinks probably up to about 10 different riders got on the podium over that Superbike series, and out of 20-odd riders, it's got to be good, and you were one of those. What was so special about that round at Hampton that got you on the podium that day?
Yeah, as I said before, it's just a massive team effort this year. We've had some good results, but it just never really clicked in at Hampton Downs. It sort of clicked for us, and we've got such great support behind us from Vistalite, Central, Kawasaki, Will Sport, Branco, Total Oils, and everyone's just helping us out so much. And we've got Graham Cole as well helping us with our bike setup and everything. And then we've got Aidan Cartwright from Restoration Motorcycles working on a Bow Turbo race suspension. So that's been a real big part, having those two guys there, because they've put so much into the bike and developing it, and it's just come so far from where it was the year before. And obviously just the seat time as well, being my second season, I always progress slowly, more slower than some people. So the second season was good, and next year I'm looking to be up the front even more. So
all right, keeping that same bike.
I'd like to, because I quite like the ZX10, and it's sort of the underdog bike. It's a World Championship winning bike, so there's no reason why it can't win here. And Kawasaki have got, it's a fast bike. It's probably the fastest top speed bike out there, and we just got to get it right set up in the corner so we can use the power. So yeah, I want to stay on the same bike.
Good. All right, white flag, back to our racing to update. Nick Burke, Zoran Wicki, Dave Manuel, and another good freight train of other riders behind them, but they're our best three. The winning margin for Nick Burke at 10.998. In fact, I should say leading margin, because it's still only with the white flag out there, but Nick Burke certainly showing a winning way here today. Zoran Wiki into for Zoran, an opportunity to ride a Triumph 675. As you'd picked up, of course, they were the winning bike in last year's NZSBK for 600 Super Sport, but didn't quite feature the same this year. Unfortunately, half. Do I call Seth Devereaux a half local? Is he half here?
Seth was supposed to stay here for a couple of weeks, and he ended up. That was about 3 or 4 months ago. So he's hung around.
You guys haven't kicked him out yet?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's all right.
Oh, is he all right? Okay, oh, that's right. We'll move on. So well done there. Checkered flag to Nick, smoked them up well and truly. So great result from him. You're thinking by the 8th of September you'll be here and racing for that round, Connor?
Oh, I bloody hope so.
Oh, okay.
I'll be too itchy by then. I think, I really want to get back on a bike. I'm already itching now, so
okay.
It's a little bit hard watching the bikes going around now, knowing that I could be up there. So, we'll see. I've got a few appointments just to see where we're at with recovery and everything, and it's the off season, so we're going to take our time.
Well done, well done. All right, tell us about a day in the life of Monday to Friday, because unfortunately we just can't all love and live motorcycles 7 days a week.
Yeah. Well, I work at a company in town called Vista Light Central, which is our main supporter, and I've just been put up to production manager there, so I'm up in the office now, pen pusher.
Okay.
So it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's a bit of a different thing to what I'm used to. Obviously, spending all that time over in Europe, not working and living the dream. So coming back